Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your tarot love reading. As always, check out my description box below. While you're doing that, I also want you to look on my channel and find the video about the moon as recorded last night. And we're just continuing on with that reading because the reason why I'm mentioning the moon is because I'm doing this reading in the moon's energy. You're going to see kind of the difference of how that energy reflects in overall energy in this reading. And I'm not so that captivated with the tarot reading itself, but what I want you to see is how the energy resonates differently at night than when I do it during the day. And why I'm mentioning this is that I did that the video about the moon, and it should be, you know what, I'll attach it to this video. I'll put it in the playlist and I'll attach it to this video so you guys can watch it. So if you really are interested in my talk about the moon, you could definitely check that out for yourself. But in that video is going to kind of break down what the moon really is and its role in our experience here. And if you know anything about David Icke, he talks about the moon too. But I just broke it down into a different perspective. And it also incorporates what he talks about too. But he did research on it. And David Icke too is an Andromedan. So he has an experience with his connection with the moon too. And that's where he gets a lot of his features from, is from his Andromedan energy and being an Andromedan itself. And like we kind of talk about in our community here too, Capricorn, is that we're all of an alien experience, but we're also here for the human experience. And what I almost encourage you to do is to actually view the different star signs, and it will be labeled for today, and you're gonna see how each star sign resonates in this energy. And what I'm observing in this energy is Capricorn is going through a transformation. Why I see that is that it's affecting my view on my camera. Like, it's the same view field as I used last recording, yet it's cutting off the bottom half of my cards, which I'm okay with. I'll move them here, but I'm just giving you my observation because I didn't move anything from yesterday, which is fine. I'll just move things, but it's just weird when I see things. It's not so much weird, but it's awesome to see things when they actually transform. And I'm just giving you my observation of those transformations. So I'll adjust things around here a little bit so you can see the bottom cards better. There you go. There you go, Capricorn. So Capricorn, how are things been going with you? I know I've just been pounding out readings because we're going through this huge transformation right now. I think it's really important for you guys to realize your importance and the energy that surrounds your particular signs. And I begin feedback about it, which is great. I can see how it affects you. It also gives me feedback on where you're at with your own connection with yourself too. A lot of people are still in ego, which is fine. It's still an experience, right? We have to experience ego before we can actually understand ego for what it is. And once we have that understanding, we can make the choice of how much the ego plays a role in our life. Because it does have a role and a purpose here in our human experience. And it's really up to us how much our ego affects our experience. And in my coaching, which I strongly suggest that you get coaching from either myself or one of the ultimate life coaches that you can connect to on Discord. Brittany's one of them. Casey's one of them. I know you guys have interacted with them. That got other coaches too that will be coming up. But my biggest suggestion is that you actually book with one of the coaches, especially if you're working on the packages put up by Sophia Charles. That'll be the Union package and Master Program. I know I got other packages available, but those two programs are the minimum that you have to complete before you can get Ultimate Life Coaching. But as a coach, since you're going to be a leader, you should really invest in all the packages. But the bare minimum is to enroll into the Ultimate Life Coaching experience is to do those two packages minimum. And the reason why I strongly suggest that you do all of them, because if you're going to be a coach and you got people coming up to you and they're trying to work through things on like the sexual abuse program. I know it's called just a sex program, but there's a part of the sex program that goes into sexual abuse, like rape and other traumas. I don't want to dive too deep into it here because I'm not really creating this video to trigger anybody's sexual trauma in their life right now. Because I think it's really important that they have a safe place for that. And they can create that safe place by themselves. Because ultimately, they're going to have to be the ones that work through that trauma so they can transmute that negative experience so they can actually empower themselves with it after they do the inner work on it. Because when you go, especially when you go through rape, that person is stealing from you. They're stealing your energy. Because if you're going to look at my moon video that I'm just putting out, we're all just energetic beings. So if someone is raping you, they're actually stealing your energy. Because the biggest transfer of energy that we can have between ourselves is through sex. So when someone rapes somebody, meaning they don't have permission to share their energy with somebody, they're actually stealing their energy, most likely because they envy your energy. They want what you have. That's why a lot of twin flames are raped, because the people that are raping you, they actually want what you have. They might not express it in intelligible words, but their actions are showing that. So I know I'm diving kind of deep into your reading here, Capricorn, but what I'm seeing in your reading is all these emotions, all these experiences, emotions that you've had in your life. And you also had death moments, right? Of those sexual experiences. And why I'm seeing that even if you got raped, you're meant to transform, because death is transformation. Death is a transformation experience. You're meant to transform that experience that was meant to steal from you, which is a form of death, because when you die, your life is taken from you. Your experience here, right? So when you are violated in that aspect that someone is actually stealing your life from you or your sexual power within you, you that have experienced that particular trauma in your life, you have the power to gain your power back from that. Because it's yours to begin with. So if someone steals it from you, and you didn't give permission for them to steal from you, then they really didn't take from you. And why I say that is that if we're truly just an energetic being, and we're all just one to begin with, then all they did was intersect with your energy. Then it's really up to you how you're going to perceive that in your life. So if you really want to transform that experience, you have to change your perception in it. I know it sounds crude, But when you really break it down, that's the only way you can empower yourself after that. And that's a crude way of putting it. And if you want to really transform your life after experience like that, that's why we have coaches. We can sit down with you, and through our session, we can help you through those experiences. But there's steps that take place before that. Because the steps that we do before that are going to actually help you connect to the power within you, so that anything outside of your experience doesn't impact you as much. Because then you choose how much that experience will impact you. Because it will be at your will. Because when we're here in this human experience, we get all this noise outside of us trying to disempower us, because they realize how much power we do have within us. So what they try to do is disempower us so that they can pretty much use our power for their will. And they use that through manipulation. That's what we're here to transform the world, Capricorn. As alien beings, I see two aliens in front of the death here. As alien beings, we're made to transform the world here. Because the world needs transformation. It's on a lower frequency. And if we really want to raise the Earth's vibration, we have to do that within ourselves first. So if we have any of those negative experiences that are of a lower frequency, we just have to basically transform those lower energies within us to a higher frequency. And then you just have to reprogram your memories of those instances, so that whenever you go within yourself, you're not being affected by those experiences in a negative way. Because we can create anything that we want to experience here. Because everything is just an experience. And you create the experience that you want to have here. And a lot of people, and what I mean by people, any being that is experiencing here, when they actually come into that realization, then they can really manifest the life that they want here. And they can have an abundant life. And even with this reading, you're just a student trying to understand this whole experience as it is. And that's why you're on this fool journey. You're out to discover who you really are. If you look at... Excuse me. I just bumped into my camera. Sorry about that, Capricorn. Let me reset this. So here we got stability again. Just give me a moment here, Capricorn. Obviously, we were talking about those other beings, right? They probably don't want you to hear about this message, because then they'll lose their power over you. Sorry about my finger there. Just trying to adjust my camera here for you, Capricorn. And I can redo this message. That's not even an issue for me. I just want to make sure that I give you the message that you do need. I think this is an important message for you. Alright. So, you're on this journey to explore yourself. If you look out in his exploration here, he's actually looking out to the universe. He's not even worried about what's coming before him. He just knows that he's here for the experience. It doesn't matter what he experiences here, because it's just that, an experience. So if you embrace that concept for yourself, then anything you do experience here doesn't trigger your ego. Because your ego doesn't understand why you're here in the first place. Because it just runs on that program. It's just part of your human experience here. So whenever you experience things here in your human experience, have a different perspective about that. Because even in this card, you're looking at who you really are. even the people around you are seeing who you are too, because they're seeing us transform, and the only way that they can accept that transformation that we're going through is by accepting us for who we are. And when they accept us for who we are, then they have to look within themselves to see who they are too. And our inner being is who we really are. And I always label that as essence, because all we are is pure energy. And our human experience is a replication of that energy. So Capricorn, hopefully you can share this information with other people. I know it was kind of an in-depth reading, and you probably were wondering about your person. But when you realize how beautiful and how powerful you are, all the experiences that you do have here don't seem that big. They don't seem like they're impossible to overcome, because you're far greater than any experience you can have here. And your person that you're sharing that energy with, you both know this. You both know this. You just have to remember. You just have to remember. And that knowing is within you. That knowing comes from your essence. You just have to reconnect to your essence so that when you do your journey here, you're going to accomplish all the things that you're meant to accomplish here. Because I know your beyond a shadow of doubt, you know your purpose here. But a lot of you doubt it because it seems like it's too big for you to accomplish. But what I'm doing is giving you encouragement, letting you know that you have everything that you need here. Just look at the magician and the high priestess. They have all the tools they need to be able to manifest everything that they need here. And you're the same way. That's just one of your expressions of yourself here. The high priestess and the magician. I know a lot of people like to put the Hierophant with the high priestess, but they're not the true counterparts, to be honest with you. Because the masculine tends to be more three-dimensional. They don't tend to be as spiritual. So the real counterparts in tarot are the high priestess and the magician. That's how you two are paired up as twin flames. And that's why your person always seems to be too three-dimensional and you seem to be too spiritual. But together, you guys are a perfect match. Because no one else will line up to your energies like you two do. Because you need both those aspects to have the balance that you need to be here as a human being. But you're just sharing that experience the way that people should be living life internally. But we're showing it not only within ourselves, but within our connection with our person. So if you just allow your person to be who they are, everything will be as it should be. It's just when our egos interfere and they try to control things and manipulate things, that's when you experiencing that seem to be harsh. Because you're going against your purpose here. Your purpose only comes from your essence, not your ego. Because your ego is just part of the human experience. So Capricorn, if you really want to empower yourself here, you've got to live from your essence. That's what we do in our coaching sessions, is align you properly with your essence so you're empowered here and you're going to experience everything you're meant to experience here in this human experience. So that's why we have coaching. That's why we have coaching. In that coaching package, we align you properly with your essence so that you can live your life as you wanted to when you came here. So you can make the most of it. And when you make the most of it, you're going to help transform the world at the same time. Just because you're going to be at that heightened frequency to begin with. So enjoy your life here. Make the most of it. That's what's going to transform our world. This earth that we live on here. When we're having this human experience. So Capricorn, just make the most of your life. Enjoy it the most you can. Well, I love you a lot. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.